Journey to Star Wars Last Jedi is a series of books and comics that was released in the lead up to The Last Jedi. These books and comics contain information that is relevant to the film, such as characters, backstories, locations, etc. The material also provides details that may foreshadow what could happen in The Last Jedi. Between all of the entries in the series, there is a lot to know and a lot to speculate on before seeing the movie. This video contains spoilers for all of the books and comics mentioned. Starting with the comics, Captain Phasma is a 5-issue miniseries that bridges the gap between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. The comic picks up right after Captain Phasma is thrown down the garbage chute as seen in The Force Awakens. Her mission is to then wipe away any evidence that she turned off the shields, allowing the destruction of Starkiller Base. She then shifts the blame on another First Order officer who flees Starkiller Base before it explodes. Phasma then tracks the officer to a planet filled with dangerous creatures and dispatches the officer. The comic comes to an end with Captain Phasma returning to the First Order fleet, where General Hux happily welcomes her back. Throughout the comics, we get to see Phasma in action, which is something that was severely lacking in The Force Awakens. Phasma is absolutely brutal in combat, and it never ends well for anyone that opposes her. Moving to the books, Phasma tells us how Captain Phasma came to be such an important person in the First Order. Having lived on a world where acid rain was common, food was scarce, and raids by rival tribes were often, shaped Phasma's motivations. To her, the only thing that mattered was her survival. She killed and was responsible for many deaths of her own tribe in order for her to stay alive. Fast forward to The Force Awakens and you see her self-preservation come through when she lowers Starkiller Base's shields. Based on Phasma's betrayals in the comics novel in The Force Awakens, I think Phasma could have another moment in The Last Jedi where she may abandon the First Order completely. Leia, Princess of Alderaan, is about Leia undergoing a rite of passage to make her worthy as heir to Alderaan. Leia's friend, Admiral Holdo, helps her out a few places on her journey. In The Last Jedi, Vice Admiral Holdo seems to be somewhat in charge of the Resistance. One of the adventures that Leia and Holdo go on leads them to the planet of Crate. While on Crate, they discover that Leia's father, Bail Organa, is in charge of a rebel base there. Crate is heavily featured in The Last Jedi as a planet with the salt flats and red dust. Something else worth mentioning is at one point during the story, Leia taps into the Force to jump across a gorge. This isn't the first time Leia has used the Force in some way. Look at her connection to Luke in The Empire Strikes Back, plus other occurrences in the canon. As far as we know, she has never been trained with those abilities. However, I would be very interested to see Leia use some sort of Force ability in The Last Jedi in a moment of absolute desperation. The Legends of Luke Skywalker is a unique entry in this list because the book is comprised of fables of Luke, mostly of his adventures after Return of the Jedi. Some of the stories are unbelievable, like when Luke brings down multiple Star Destroyers with lightning on Jakku. However, others may have a hint of authenticity. Judging from the stories told, Luke has the potential to be a great deal more powerful and wiser since the last time we've seen him. He also seems to want to avoid violence whenever it is possible. Finally, Canto Bight is a book comprised of 4 stories interlinked and set during one night in the city of Canto Bight. The stories flesh out Canto Bight, which is another new location in The Last Jedi. This city is like the Las Vegas of the Star Wars galaxy. Casinos, resorts, nightclubs, and racetracks are the main appeal of this location. Everything from the lower class, the upper class, police, criminal underworld, tourists, workers, and more is detailed in this novel to give us a good idea for what to expect when we see it in the film. Canto Bight also seems to be a place where people profit from the conflict between the First Order and the Resistance. It is stated that the city is a neutral location between both factions. The Journey to Star Wars The Last Jedi books and comics offer interesting details to get us excited for the film. I want to hear what you guys thought of all the connections to The Last Jedi. Did I miss anything that ties into The Last Jedi from any of the books or comics? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Also, I've posted reviews for all of the mentioned books and comics on the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I strongly urge you to subscribe to the channel as I upload Star Wars content weekly. I'm Star Raptor. Thanks for watching and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.